Boys and girls, welcome. Today, actually not today, yesterday, we got an experimental card. And I haven't read any of the changes yet, but I've heard some interesting things, to say the least. And I don't really want to edit a video because that's going to take a long time, and I think it's better if you guys just hear my raw thoughts. Let's get into this. If you guys want to watch this live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 p.m. EST, you can check stuff out like this. We already got a Reinhardt changes are based. Okay, well, let's see. Who do we even have for this? ML7's doing support, nice. LemonKiwi doing tanks. Honestly, not terrible, because, I mean, LemonKiwi might not be a pro player, but, oh wait, you guys can't even see this. LemonKiwi doing tanks. Maybe not a player, maybe not a coach by any means, but, you know, it's better than just having some rinky-dink content creator do it, because at least she has to watch contenders and actually has to understand what she's doing. Jake, everyone knows Jake and wanted to. Does Wanted even play the game anymore? I thought he played Apex now. I guess they're trying to buy him out or something. It's like a Twitch deal or something. So let's start with the hero updates. Maximum hit scan fall off range increased to 50 from 30%. So a big hit scan nerf. Okay. Probably needed, I'd say. But I'm sure there's other stuff. Plus 75% global cap for movement speed buffs applied to allies. Previously, this would have only affected Lucio, but several other characters can now increase ally movement speed. Oh! Wait, this is a buff? Fall off range increased to 50%. I think that means you can fall off from longer, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that really means. Did I read it wrong? Maybe I did. I don't know. It doesn't make that big of a deal anyways, because there's going to be a lot of changes. But now other characters can make people faster by 75%? Might make me act up! God dang! Okay. Anyways. Added a global 75% cap to movement speed buffs applied to allied heroes. Arisa, Zarya, Lucio, Symmetra. Okay, whatever that means. I don't know. I guess we'll get into it. Honestly, I'm going to turn off the chat just because I need to figure out how I actually want to be doing that. But let's see what's going on here. All tank weapon... Alright, tank. All tank weapon ability and ultimate damage reduced by 50%? Okay, let me keep reading here. Crowd control durations applied to tanks are reduced by 50% for the following types. Okay, stuns, sleeps, knockdowns, knockbacks, slow freeze, root trap. Okay, so anything CC. The following crowd control abilities are still full duration. May Blizzard, okay, I get that. Shatter, okay, that's good. Graviton Surge, yeah, that makes sense. Primal Rage, I mean... Okay, I guess. So I did read on Twitter that this 50% damage reduction is getting changed. I think that's a little much. But the crowd control stuff... here's the thing. I think this should be like 25% at a minimum. If you're gonna give them all of this, I think it's at a 25 at a minimum is required here. I mean, we're talking a lot of damage to be blocked here, and a lot of CC to be blocked. Going into these changes, I think they're gonna be more geared towards Overwatch 2 and not Overwatch 1, because we're projected to get a beta within the duration of like end of February, start of April is when we're supposed to be getting Overwatch 2 beta. That's what it's predicted. So I think the developers probably said, yo, keep in mind that we might use these changes for Overwatch 2 and like maybe make it for Overwatch 2. So these changes I think are going to have a theme of less DPS and more actually like a tank. Because there's only going to be one of them now, and you don't want them to just damage and kill everything. So, I mean, I just want to get that out of the way before we start looking at the changes. Right off the bat, yeah, armor increased from 200 to 400. That's absolutely insane. The survivability increase there is nuts. I mean, if you guys understand what armor does, that's crazy. That's really good for Reinhardt. Enemies hit by Fire Strike now receive 50% less healing. I don't know if it's needed, but I mean, it's cool. You only get one charge, so, like... The thing is that Diva's just going to stop that from happening anyways. Charge can now pin multiple targets. Alright, movement speed is increased by 40% for the first 2 seconds of charge. So you're looking for more like... solo poke value, I guess, with charge from close range. Cannot be cancelled by pressing input again. I feel like the developers just told him, hey, do this, because that's what we alluded to. Moving on, 200 to 5, that's insane. That much armor is nuts. Let's look at Fortify. Fortify now grants 40%. Oh, hold up. grants 40% increase to movement speed. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Allies within 8 meters have 20% increased movement speed and 20% damage reduction. That's weird. I would almost want Charge to be on Orisa as like a really nice mobility ability. And have the Fortify be the new Rhine ability. Because that seems more like something Rhine would be better at. But I like the direction because she kind of can't spam anymore unless her shield is unnecessarily broken. So, I mean, I kind of like where LemonKiwi went with this. I don't know, though. Let's see. I have to look at the rest of this. So, Halt no longer fires projectile. I have no clue what that means. I have seen Tracers do not get to recall if they get hit with the tendrils within 5 meters and tethers them to reset. I don't know what that means. I don't really know what that means, but I think it's an interesting direction. Supercharger no longer grants allies a damage buff. Okay, then what does it do? Now slows all enemies within 10 meters. I don't think 10 meters is enough. Here's the thing. Supercharger, if you're going to put it close to enemies, the problem is that it's incredibly easy to break, especially if Orisa is going to be the only tank. So, like, if they're going to do this, I think the Supercharger needs a lot more health, or it needs to be healed, or there needs to be a better way to protect it. Unless you shield in, you're running in with your Fortify since you have more speed, and then they're so slow that they can't get past the shield. I mean, I don't know the effects of the Supercharger, but 10 meters is like, I think it's a male. So, like, it's not a huge radius. So I'm not so sure about that. I don't think Orisa is going to be great, but I like the direction they went with. LemonKiwi went with that. Let's see what Zarya. Health increase from 200 to 300, that's big. Armor increase from 0 to 300, and it's replacing the shield health pool. Wow. I mean, it might seem busted, but to be quite honest with you guys, if Zarya's going to be the only tank, I mean, she kind of needs it. Provides up to 50% movement speed boost to Zarya. Okay, that's a lot. Based on current energy, though, with a 0.5% movement speed per 1 energy, that's not as great as it seems because you still have to get energy. So this is still going to stay roughly the same in its use, I feel, in the neutral fights. I mean, if you win a fight, the way it works is if you win a fight, then like you're going to be even faster. So maybe it'll be good. I think to other tanks, it's just going to be a little bit weak, to be quite honest with you. But the projected barrier, it does the same thing, but it does it to allies, which this is big. Like, I mean, imagine your Reaper ults, and then you have max charge on Zarya, and he has a 50% movement speed buff with, like, Lucio speed buff. That is nuts. That's a lot of speed, and that is quick. I like that, though, because it speeds up the game a lot. I just don't know. If Zarya's the only tank, it's not going to be great. The thing is, in the experimental tourney, there's going to be 2 tanks, so Line Zarya, maybe, would be decent? I don't know. I haven't seen Diva yet. Sigma armor increase from 0 to 200. That's good. Shield health pool removed? So it just can't be broken. Is that what I'm hearing here? The shield just can't be broken. Alright, let's see what the rest of this is, though, because maybe they're balancing it out. Now fires 1 projectile per shot, down from 2, and the recovery... Okay, so he actually does more damage because he can shoot faster. It's just going to be harder to... It's going to be harder to actually shoot and hit your shots. Accretion now receives an additional charge on a successful hit. That's going to be really annoying because that's more CC. Spending additional charge puts the ability on cooldown. Okay, I like this though. You can't just keep chaining it. So that, I mean, that's this second addendum to it is actually kind of heat. But I think 2 rocks is a little annoying. But the thing is I don't know. I'm gonna have to see it in action. The thing is, there's still 2 tanks for this experimental cup, so I really don't know what to tell you. Sigma is now immune to crowd control abilities when Grasp is active. In Sigma v Sigma matchups, I mean, that's good. In terms of everything else, I mean, it's not really that hot. Cooldown resists to a minimum of 0.1 seconds. No clue what that means. I don't know if it's a buff or a nerf. Let's move on to the next one. Wrecking Ball. Grappling Claw no longer automatically detaches itself after 6 seconds. Okay, that's a decent change. Could no longer reach maximum speed, deal damage, or knock back enemies if Grappling Claw has been active for more than 6 seconds. So it's actually making him worse. You have to be better as Ball to do anything. Interesting. I like that change because you can't spin to win, but it's also kind of like it hurts you if you go for longer than 6 seconds. Minefield now blinds enemies for 0.25 seconds when damaging enemies. When blinded, the player is unable to see anything except for their HUD. I don't know if I like that. Does it really add anything to the ultimate? Like, if you're gonna get hit by mines, you're pretty much already dead. To be quite honest with you, like, you're already dead. I guess what this means is, like, if mines is on points, it's gonna have bigger value. I think that's what it's gonna do, but I don't think Ball's getting as great of changes compared to everything else. Pile Driver now reduces the cooldown of Adaptive Shield by 1 second for each enemy hit. That's a pretty good change. The thing is it's not going to be super practical in Overwatch 2. I think this is actually a really good angle to actually balance Wrecking Ball going in Overwatch 2. I think that. I think that this is you're not giving Wrecking Ball nearly as much as other characters are getting, so it's not so bad. It's not so bad. Let's go to Roadhog here. He's doing less. Here's the thing. You have to understand they're doing less damage. So, like, the characters that kind of thrive off of damage, they kind of need more CC. Health reduced from 600 to 300. Armor increased from 0 to 300. Also, if anyone has anything in chat to add, just let me know. And I'm totally down to discuss with you guys, because this video is going to go for probably at least half an hour. This is big for Hog. The thing is with Hog is that his entire character with the damage reduction, it kind of doesn't do anything, and he's kind of worthless. So, yeah, sure, he can pull faster. He no longer heals let's see here. He no longer heals for a flat value of 300. Okay, then what? Now heals 100 health plus an additional 100 per nearby ally. Roadhog gains 25% damage reduction while near allied damaged heroes. The buff is shared with allies within 5 meters. Roadhog deal... I don't like that change. I don't know. I think Hog is just... He's a DPS trapped in a tank's body, dude. He just needs to flank and do whatever he wants. I mean, this isn't going to be good compared to, like, Reinhardt that can just, like, pin multiple people. Like, what's stopping you from... I mean, I guess you can get hooked. I don't know. This doesn't look great to me. Alright, Diva is going to be the biggest one we have to look for because Diva's nuts. Alright, Diva's passive. Holding the jump key allows the mech to fall slowly. Okay. That's decent. Primary fire damage reduced from 2 to 1 damage per pellet. So she's doing now 0.5. She's doing 0.5 damage per pellet because of the 50% damage reduction. You just killed the character, Blizzard. Now grants... Okay. Now grants 30% ultimate charge for... Tracer nerf? I mean, to an extent, Tracer nerf. I mean, it's easy to eat pulse bombs. I mean, I don't know, like, that's a cool change. Honestly, I don't mind these changes. Because here's the thing, this makes Diva no longer DPS, but she still flies around the map every 2 seconds, and she grants ultimate charge. Like, she's gonna be a defensive tank. And if this is the change going into Overwatch 2, I think this is good. Because it doesn't make her a DPS, but it does make her probably the most versatile defensive tank in the game. Not super aggressive anymore, but super defensive. And lets, like, Zen Brig exist. I honestly really think that's good. I don't know, I think that's really cool. I mean, they might need to fine-tune this, because 2 seconds plus falling slowly, she's, like, never gonna be on the ground, but, like... I don't know, it's interesting. Armor increase, again, that's huge. Now slightly launches nearby, and okay, that's cool. Health 1700 health decays by 75 per second to maximum health of 350. I guess it forces someone out of primal. Okay, it forces someone out of primal if they get to 350. Holding primary fire now. Wait, holding primary fire input now charges up a punch, which can increase the knockback up to 100%. That's cool in primal range. I like that. It actually makes it do maybe a little bit more damage and a lot more, actually not a little bit more damage, a lot more knockback though. Okay, so that's the tank changes. All that I can say about the tank changes is... Here's the thing, guys. I'm gonna be completely real with you. Overwatch 2 is going to feel like shit for a week or a month or two. It's gonna feel like shit. But if we are able to, if we see from the dev team some balancing and some like hard work on this, I think 5v5 could actually work. It's not going to be Overwatch. It's literally going to be Overwatch 2. It's the same kind of idea, but it's not going to feel the same. But the direction of these tank changes, I don't know. I think tank right now kind of carries a little bit too hard in most elos. That's not to say support doesn't either. I think DPS is very weak right now. I just think there's going to be a lot of change. I'm not saying... I don't know. There's just so much going wrong with the game that I think a little bit of change... I think at this point, it's what we need. But okay, let's keep going here. Genji is obviously the one that everyone's going to be up in arms about. He's so hit or miss. All right, but let's see here. Swift Strike now has 2 charges. Okay, that's really, really strong. Refund 1 Swift Strike per okay, one charge per elimination. That's good. Activating Dragonblade also refunds 1 charge, so the same thing as before. Damage reduced from 50 to 30. Is it better or is it worse? I can't really tell. I can't really tell. I can't really tell if that's better or worse, because, like, sure, you're getting more net damage, you get more mobility on Genji. I think it's interesting. It could work, but here's the thing. Here's the problem. Now we're getting into the Dragonblade changes. Duration reduced from 6 to 3 seconds. That's bad. That's big. I mean, that's huge. And then after Dragonblade ends, Genji gains 40% faster attack speed for 6 seconds. I like that. I like that, actually. I don't know who did this. I think it was Jake. Here's the thing. It might not be the perfect change. It might not be the perfect change for Genji specifically and what he needs. But what I will say is that this is a direction in which it could work. The direction in which the devs went before, they had no clue what the hell they were doing with Genji. I think this is a good direction. I'm going to be completely real with you guys. I think that this makes Genji have more opportunities to get that dash reset, which is good. It just, he can't do it on his own. But we'll have to see, because you have to remember the overall input of all of the other tanks is also lower, so like the damage kind of needs to carry more, so it's going to be based on his main DPS with him. But alright, let's go to Doomfist. New additional passive. Using a basic ability that dealt no damage to enemies reduces the current cooldowns of the other 2 abilities by 1 second. Okay, that doesn't really do anything unless you're bad at Doomfist, and most people that play Doomfist are very good at Doomfist, so... Oh, wait, no, using a basic ability that dealt no damage. This is actually good, because if you want to punch out, you can actually go back in sooner. Never mind, I'm dumb. Can now be cancelled. Seismic Slam can now be cancelled after a 0.2 second delay by pressing the ability input again. You guys are gonna have to talk to get quaked on about this. I literally have no clue what this means for the character. I think it's a nice quality of life change, but the thing is, if you change too much more about the characters when the tanks don't do as much damage, maybe he'd be too good. Alright, new passive ability, Assimilation. Echo heals for 30% of her current missing health when she gets a final blow. This healing generates ultimate charge. This passive also affects her duplicate copy. Okay, I just disagree with all these changes. I mean, like, why are we buffing Echo? I think she's way too strong. Here's the thing. I can't really say that for sure. Here's the thing. Okay, sorry. Diva got a nerf, but she's more defensive. So Echo has to then be a little bit more offensive in a way, but she's not really getting more. She's just a little bit more tanky, Echo is. But the thing is, we might have also buffed the hit scans, which may have made Echo need that buff. So we don't really know yet. We'll have to see. I mean, overall, more speed, more health. I don't really like giving that to Echo, but compared to all the other stuff that's happening, I think Echo actually might need a little bit of a bump. We'll have to see what the hit scans go here, but let's go with May. Fully frozen targets take 100% increased quick melee damage from all sources. I like this. You wanna know why I like this? It makes sense. You're putting a hammer to someone that is literally frozen solid. It should do more damage. I like this. And it also makes May a lot better in terms of damage potential. I think it's cool. It's not going to make a big difference, but I think it's cool. I think that's a really cool change, and I think it should make like a shattering sound when it happens. That would be really, honestly, that would make me want to play Mei. That would make me, when I'm playing on DPS and they're like, yo, we need a Mei, that would make me want to play Mei a little bit more. The other thing is, though, you have to understand the Mei freeze, unless it's her ultimate, like what we heard before with the tanks, it's gonna freeze a lot slower, so they kind of need to buff it as well. So don't go out being like, oh, but Mei's so annoying. Mei's so annoying. Well, she kind of needs it at this point. But let's see here. Ice Ball now launches heroes into the air when built underneath them. I don't know how far in the air we're talking here, but that's interesting. I mean, that's interesting because maybe what the play is in those Cassidy Mei matchups, when Cassidy gets walled off and you're trying to speed around it, you can't. Maybe the play is literally to wall him so he's in the air and then can high noon them at an angle, like at the hypotenuse. That would be insane. Is it practical? I don't know. I still think Diva is still just going to be absolutely crazy, but we're going to have to see what goes on in this next meta. I mean, I'm not thinking about this in a 2-tank game, yet it's going to be 2-tank for this experimental. I just think I don't think it was really optimized for like the best possible patch for Overwatch 1. It's definitely for Overwatch 2 in mind. That's what all of their decisions are currently. And Cryo Freeze, size increased by 50%, makes her more like of a meat shield, I guess, in Cryo. I don't know. It's quality of life, it seems. Pharaoh Rocket Launcher. Impacts now apply a 25% speed reduction. Impacts. I'm hoping this means direct impacts. I think so. Because it actually makes Pharaoh's just even better. Rocket Impact knockback increased by 100%. Is that a good thing? Or is that kind of a bad thing? I don't know. I don't know about this change. Concussive Blast, now 2 ability charges, which is good. Enemy knocked back by Concussive Blast become immune to all knockback for 1.5 seconds. That's just good. It's covering up its bases and making Pharah a little bit better. I still think she's just if Diva is going to be able to fly for every 2 seconds and DM everything, Pharah is just never going to be good. DM is just too strong. Junkrat no longer has audible footsteps. I see what you did there, Jake. I see what you did there. I see what you did. You're not sly, you're not slick, but I see what you did. And you know what? I respect it. I respect it. Anyways, Rip Tire, increased movement speed when detaching from walls. Oh, that's gonna be sick. If Aquamarine is playing in this tournament, I'm gonna be seeing some silly plays, some silly plays, and I'm all for it. But let's move on to Sombra here. All right, Sombra, Machine Pistol. Weapon spread reduced by 20%. That is really, really good. Shots per second increased from 20 to 24%. Now, you might be wondering, Sombra already does way too much damage. What the hell is this? Understand that the tanks all received a gigantic armor buff. And keep in mind, this is me just reacting to it, so this is just my thoughts. I mean, I haven't, like, premeditated. That's probably not the right word. I haven't read this prior to recording this. So, I mean, just think about it, though. The armor, I mean, maybe she is a little bit like the weapon spread reduced by 20. That effectively increases her damage from range by 20%, give or take. Not her max damage, but her damage from range. And shots per second, 20 to 24. She's overall going to be doing more damage. And you might be thinking, Sombra already does a lot of damage in these compositions where she's good, especially with a Zen Brig. The thing is that the tanks have more armor, so she's effectively actually going to be still doing less damage, unless it's against like a Zenyatta. But the thing is, we don't know what the support changes are yet, and if that's really going to change anything. But, hack cooldown when interrupted increases from 2 to 3 seconds. That's good. Hack duration reduced from 5 to 3.5 seconds. That's also very, very good. It's really annoying to get spam hacked by Sombra. And with boosted damage, I think that's good. Stealth now has an 8-second maximum duration. Yeah, that's good. No longer plays an audio cue if the ability reaches its full... honestly, I would just rather her be... You still have time to react, because if she shoots or if she hacks, you still have time to react. There's still counterplay here. I think this is nice because it only gives teams 8 seconds to set up and dive. I think it's good. Is it perfect? No, but it wasn't meant to be perfect? No, it wasn't meant to be perfect. It's an experimental. Alright, character size reduced by 15%. Okay. I mean, I guess that helps. I mean, maybe I'd have to see it. Ammo increased from 35 to 100 in Recon. Weapon spread reduced by 20%. That's really good for Bastion. I think in rotation, there's going to be a lot... Bastion still sucks, guys. I'm sorry. It can be channel while firing. Okay, I'm really bad about this. My camera's blocking everything. Can that be channeled while firing? Okay, that's actually really good. The self-repair while firing, that is insane. Thing is, Diva exists. So, sorry guys. Dragon Strike. The dragons now spawn immediately if the arrow impacts terrain. That's cool, but it's going to really mess with people because they're going to be hearing the voice line and then things are going to be coming through walls. But the big thing that we really need to worry about, Storm Arrow. No longer fires the next 5 arrows instantly. What? Now grants a 6-second buff with the following effects. Okay, so this is just a different ability now. Lunge cooldown reduced from 4 to 1 second. Stormbow movement penalty removed. Stormbow draw time decreased from... Do I like it? Do I like it? I like it. I like it. It makes Sniper feel like a Hanzo again, and not like he does nothing until the ball slams, you bash, and then you just like put all your storm arrows into a tank. Unironically, good change. In my opinion. I mean, the whole thing here is it makes him more of a sniper than just a burst. And, I mean, a lunge every 1 second. I mean, I don't know about that one. But, I mean... Maybe it's good, maybe it's not. I don't know, we'll have to see. And let's go on to Torbjorn here. Rivet Gun. Dealing damage with primary fire adds a stacking buff that increases its damage by 5. Each buff lasts for 5 seconds. That's really strong. That's really strong, especially against ball comps where you're gonna just be hitting that forever. I think Torb is gonna be really scary in this experimental tournament. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys, but we'll have to see the other changes. The Viper. No longer reloads ammo individually. Now reloads all ammo in 2.25 seconds. That is really good for Ashe. Coach Gun cooldown increased. Yep, that's good. Explosion no longer has damage fall off. That was a thing. I mean, you never run into it. But, okay, yeah. So, they nerfed the Coach Gun in order for you to have more uptime. That's totally fine. Okay, let's see the Cassidy changes. Okay. I'm hoping for this. 225 to 200, please. No more roll in the air. And maybe take out Fan, so that I don't have people trolling my games on ladder. Jake and Wanted, please redeem my wishes. Cassidy, health reduced for 2... We're starting off strong, boys and girls. Weapon recovery reduced from 0.5 to 0.42 seconds. Please tell me there's good news. Secondary fire removed. Alright, let's see the rest. Cooldown increased from 6 to 8 seconds. Can no longer be used in the air. Reduce visual effects. My boy. You guys made Cassidy the best. You actually reverted him to the state where he was the most balanced. You guys did it. Wow. Blizzard, was it so hard? Like, let's see what Blizzard did. They gave him 225. They gave him air roll. And they also, I'm pretty sure they buffed this. So we literally reverted almost all the changes. Nerfed his roll, actually, and nerfed, yeah, and actually buffed his ult so that it's not so easy to spot. This Chef's Kiss, so good. The Cassidy changes, I don't even know if I said Cree before, I'm sorry if I did. The Cassidy changes, Chef's Kiss, so well done. Hats off to them, and literally was exactly what I wanted. Alright, let's look at Reaper, because he's just one of those characters. Cooldown decreased from... Okay, so he can teleport more often, and can be used during Wraith form, so he doesn't just die immediately. Alright, that's good. Cooldown reduced from 8 to 4 seconds, no longer reloads your weapons, no longer applies a movement speed buff. Okay, I like this, kind of. I think, in a way it's good, in a way it's bad. it just kind of changes your playstyle as Reaper, because you're not like a solo carry anymore. You're definitely with your team and trying to engage with them more, which, I mean, I like that. It's Overwatch, you know? Let's look at attack vibes. Reduced visual effects on... Okay, yep, so you can actually see what you're shooting at. That's good. Helix rockets no longer deal self-damage. Yeah, that's good, because Helix rocket is very often used for rollouts. Cooldown increased from 6 to 8 seconds. I just don't think that's needed, personally. I think he was fine where he was. Just those quality of life changes are nice. Widowmaker. Cooldown increased from 12 to 15 seconds. That's kind of good, because she can be very oppressive, and now dives actually work against her, because then she won't have it for an extended period of time. But Venom Mine. Okay. I like that they're switching Venom Mine. It depends on what they're doing here. Because the thing is with Venom Mine is that it's very weak. It's used in weird ways. But let's see here. Can now place up to 3 active mines. Okay. Cooldown reduced from 15 to 10 seconds. Okay, that's good. Damage reduced from 15 to 10 seconds. That's good. Effect duration reduces. Okay, all of these, literally all of these changes to Widow are fantastic. They're fantastic. Because they make her Venom Mine actually useful. The only thing that scares me a little bit is that Widowmaker's just one of those characters that the better you are at her, just like the more crazy she gets. The wall hacks provided, if the Widow's crazy, they're even crazier. Moving into Overwatch 2, we need to see more nerfs for Widowmaker than we see buffs. I really like that the Venom Mine does something now. Widow just does a little bit too much. The thing is, she's not like hard meta either. I don't know. Widow's way too good and also way too bad. Widowmaker's the hardest character to bounce. From chat, Overwatch 2 is going to be a nightmare for those flanking Widows and Haunted. I disagree. I think Diva's just way too strong, though. That's the thing. Like, you have to look at the big picture here, because at the same time, Widow gets this, but then also Diva exists. Also Zen Brig exists. Also Tracer exists. Like, is Widow as strong as she was before? Like, I don't think so. I think in ladder she's really good, but you're never going to be able to bounce for ladder. You got to pick one or the other, and I think bouncing in the way it's actually meant to be done in team play is just the better idea. Alright, let's see. Tracer, ultimate cross reduced by 50%. You could say this is a buff, but when Diva's going to be played a lot, you're going to be giving Diva her bomb a lot more often. Explosion damage reduced from 350 to 190. No longer deals self-damage. Okay, you're just making it weaker. It's just a different use for it. I don't know. Boys and girls, the changes we've all been waiting for. The support changes. But before we do that, but how can you say that when there's 2 DPS and 1 tank that can dive her? Here's the thing, right? Diva is insane. Diva is absolutely insane. And when you have a Tracer and a Sombra, or a Tracer and Ashe, or all these other characters that are going to be pressuring the Widow, I don't think it's going to be as strong. I think in ladder it will when people are dumb and don't know just to pick Diva. But when Diva can fly every 2 seconds, that Widowmaker has a window of opportunity of 2 seconds every fight to do something. And that's that's with some grace. Keep in mind she can also only really get to somewhere different every 15 seconds now, and Diva can fly every 2 seconds. Widowmaker's always going to be looked at, especially with Tracer, with Zen Brig. There hasn't been any considerable nerfs to these characters. I mean, to be honest, we haven't seen the support changes yet, don't get me wrong, but Zen Brig just still looks really, really strong. And if it's not Zen Brig, it'll be Bat Brig. If it's not Bat Brig, it's going to be Ana Brig. But we'll have to see here. Ana becomes insane, and so does Zen. I have a very hard time thinking that Ana's going to become insane, because I don't think it's going to happen. But let's see. Let's get to the support changes. I'll stop stalling for a longer video. But let's see here. Biotic Rifle. Reload time decreased from 1.5 to 0.75 seconds. That is really good for her uptime. She really needs that, especially against some of these other characters that are just way, way out healing her. Sleep targets now appear in kill feed. Okay, that's honestly distracting. I don't like that. Allies now see an icon above the slept enemy. That's really nice. It's really just quality of life. Turrets can now be slept. That's just a lol haha funny community joke from him, ML7. Sleep dart can now be used to stop Diva's mech from flying during self-destruct. Also kind of a quality of life thing, because if you're going to be running a comp with Ana, those characters generally aren't going to be dying to Diva Bomb anyways, but it's a nice quality of life change. I think all of these is just quality of life. Other than the allies can now see icon above slept enemy. I kind of liked that it wasn't there, because you had to be more descriptive to your team. And it really tested a team's potential to call stuff out, but I think it's nice. This doesn't make Ana a good character yet, though. Now, okay, let's look at Nanobooster. Now, instead of granting healing... now instead of granting increased healing... now instead of granting increased healing received to the target, it now causes the target to heal... It now causes the target to also heal for 50% more. What does that even mean? Is that a typo? Now, instead of granting increased healing received... Oh, granting the increased healing, like 300 healing. So instead of healing for 300, it now causes the target to heal for 50% more. Good and bad. You can't really panic Nano mid-fight anymore, but you can engage Nano much harder. Unless they have it on a 2, and then it just gets antied, and now you're completely fucked. I mean... I don't know, dude. Casting time reduced from 0.15 to 0.05. That's nice, because you can cancel that ultimate way too easily when you really shouldn't. Final blows dealt by allies affecting the enemies. Now it decreases Ana's current cooldowns by 1 second. I mean, you're looking at a maximum of 6 seconds. If the Nano doesn't kill things within 12 seconds after you use your nade, I don't know how good that's going to be. I'm going to be completely honest. These are nice buffs to Ana, but keep in mind that Ana is not the reason why Ana is bad. The reason why Ana is bad is because Zen and Brig exist, and so does BAP. So you guys said there was a BAP nerf. Well, let's see what happens here. Exo Boots. Maximum jump height increased by 50. Okay, none of this matters. It's a weird ability, but it gives Baptistes more stuff to look for. And keep in mind, I also did release my Baptiste video. Thursday. I'm not going to release this today. I released that Baptiste video on Thursday. That kind of got my opinions of it. So before we read the rest of the opinions that ML7 had, let's see. He did the clout move. I respect it. Duration decreased from 5 seconds to 1.5 seconds. Yeah. Cooldown increased from 25 to 23. Yeah. Yeah. This is just... Look, I understand the community hates Immortality Field, but, like, I don't know. It's... I don't know. Baptiste can now deal self-healing with the Biotic Launcher when the ultimate's active. Duration... Like, look, guys, I understand Baptiste was busted, but, like, you just killed the character. So, Baptiste, I think, is just out of the picture. I mean, 1.5 seconds. He did the clout move. Everyone hates Baptiste. No one wants to play him anymore. You know what? That's great. That's great. If you're going to reduce it from 5 to 1.5 seconds, he best be having that ability every, like, 15 seconds. Because this is nothing. Like, this saves him for a little bit. I just don't think it's enough. Especially, he's not even like hard meta right now. I don't know. Let's hope that Brigitte changes are good. I mean, everything I said here, the reason why I disagree with this, you can just watch that video. I just said that Baptiste, he's not a healer. He should be utility based, and I think MO is more important. It's annoying, don't get me wrong, but I mean, that is the character. So, Inspire. Healing effect expires immediately if Brigitte dies. I mean, that's good. That's what was needed. Shield Bash. Distance covered increased by 15%. Okay. Now retains more velocity when colliding with terrain. So more Brigitte jumps? I guess? I mean, it's a cool quality of life thing. While Rally is active, Whipshot functionally changes to the following. That's kind of cool. Damages and knocks back all enemies within a 7-meter radius. That's just, like, not good. You're never going to use that because you're literally booping them away from the damage that your team is doing. Restricts Brigitte's movement for 0.75 seconds. Okay. Increases the cooldown by the remaining duration of Rally plus 4 seconds. I don't know what that means. You know what this means, guys? Zen Brig is still meta. We didn't nerf Brigitte one bit, guys. Woohoo! Alright, but let's see what the Lucio changes are. I did look at a bug, so I kind of got a little bit of it. But let's see here. While riding, damage increased from 20 to 25. That's pretty damn good. I gotta give it to him. I don't think it makes him crazy, though. Enemies that are in the area of effect from the sound barrier are now knocked back 6 meters. It's a cool idea. I just don't think it's really... I mean, you want to close the distance. You don't want to, like, get away. Unless you're trying to use it as a defensive ult, which, I mean, I guess I can understand that. But let's see what all this Twitter fuss for Mercy was about. Mercy Valkyrie is no longer an ultimate ability. Alrighty then, that's what it was. Okay, it's now ability 2. Okay, healing increased from 55 to 70 health per second. Okay, it's actually a pretty hefty amount when you really think. That's a direct impact nade from BAP. So I mean that's some healing. The staff becomes the staff beam no longer attaches to additional allies. Okay, duration decreased from 15 to 3 seconds. Okay, cooldown is now 20 seconds. It's not that strong, boys. And then nerfed everything. It's not that strong, boys. 20 seconds? It's not that strong. It's not that strong. Why did we do this? The damage buff isn't even better. I literally get to heal someone for 70 for 3 seconds? This is awful. This is terrible. This is a dog meat change. But here's the other thing. It's now an ultimate ability, and you can resurrect 5 people at once. Maximum range increased from 5 to 8. Wow, guys. Wow, guys. This is so crazy. I hope you understand that Mercy still has to actually go through the res animation. This does nothing. Dude, guys, Mercy isn't girl boss. She's literally worse. Like, res was better as a solo ability because it was meant for... Dude, Mercy's not girl boss, guys. She's literally worse in this patch. Like, this is awful. You guys get 70. You get 15 more healing for 3 seconds. Yeah, woo! Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing the point, but Mercy is not a girl boss. She's literally going down. That's crazy to me. Okay, Moyra. Let's see what Moyra has to say here. New passive. Quick melee now slows enemies by 30% for 1 second. That's cool. This effect has a 10-second cooldown per enemy. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool, actually, because you're going to be rushing in with Moyra. That's a really cool change and, like, gives her a little bit more utility. So, all right. Maximum resources increased by 12.5%. Okay, like, no, tanks have more health, so, like, she needs to compensate that maybe a little bit. Orbs no longer change speed when near valid targets, constantly at the walking speed. Okay. After activating the ability, holding primary or secondary for 1 second will cause you to fire faster orbs, a faster orb that moves at a constant speed of 20 meters per second. That's like Mach 10. Holy sheesh. And with Coalescence, channeling on an enemy target continuously for 2 seconds will now also lift them off the ground for 3 seconds. This effect can happen once per enemy. So Moyra is better than BAP. Is she meta? I don't know. I think she's very strong in this patch, and this is a good direction to take the character. But you guys have been saying, oh, wait a minute. Okay, we'll get to that last. Zenyatta. New passive, Elevation. Zenyatta can jump higher if he holds the jump button. Okay, but it doesn't, like, have him float. Orbs of Destruction. Ammo increase from 20 to 25. Okay. Alright, let's keep going with this if you guys are saying he's busted. Orb of Harmony. Grant an additional role-specific effect if attached to an ally for 2 seconds. Okay, interesting. Tanks 20% damage reduction. 20% damage reduction? Okay. Damage, 10% movement speed increase. Alright. Healing received increased from 30 to 40 per second. Orb of Discord. Damage amplification from 20... Wow. Alright, well, I mean, you guys already understand where this video is going. Like Zenbrig is still just way too good. Yeah. All right, Symmetra moved from damage to support role. That's really cool. I mean, that's really cool. Now sees ally health bars by default, like this boy here. Okay, cool. Primary fire damage per second decreased from 60, 120, 180 to 40, 80, 120. Okay. Secondary fire damage reduced from 20. Okay. Now deals up to 50% increased damage to non-heroes like turrets and bear. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. She's like a barrier buster. Ammo increase from 70 to 80%. Or 70 to 80. Okay, that's cool. Not really that good, but sentry turret. Health increase from 30 to 50. Alright. No longer deals damage. Okay, now heals allies. That's cool. Heals 20 health per second per turret. So with 3 turrets on the ground, that's 60 per second. Which is kind of cool. I don't think it's really practical, but maximum range increased from 10 to 12 meters. That's actually really cool. Building time reduced from cooldown increased from 10 to 8. Cool. Or reduced from 10 to 8. No longer slows. Okay, cool. Teleporter. Cooldown increased from 10 to 12 seconds. Cool. Allies that take the teleporter receive a 40% movement speed increase for 2 seconds. Cool. This effect has a 10-second cooldown per ally. That's cool. And let's look at the last thing. Photon Barrier. Health reduced from 4,000 to 2,500. That's okay. Duration reduced from 12 to 10 seconds. Okay. Ultimate cost reduced by 9%. Guys, we just added healing. He just added healing 60 per second. We can't be doing that. She's going to be getting it much faster. This is one of the best ultimates in the game. Yikes. Okay, but to be honest, she still sucks. So, okay. Here are my takeaways, guys, before I end this video. And if you've watched this far on Twitch as well as on YouTube, here's a secret message where I say I love you and I want to kiss you on the lips if you're above 18. Yeah. But what do I think is going to be good? Zenbrig is still just fantastic. You could maybe argue Ana would be decent. Baptiste is in a weird spot because I don't know. Here's the thing. Torb's also very strong. So we have to keep in mind that Torb's also really, really good. But I still think Ashe, Sombra, Tracer, the kings and queens. Wait, the queens actually. The queens of the DPS meta right now, the Ashe, Sombra, and Tracer are just really, really strong still. They got really good changes. Besides, like, I mean, no, you're getting Pulse faster, so you're actually going to Force Trank faster. You just also have to understand that Diva is very defensive now and can eat that and get more Pulse Bombs. The changes to Ball are also just really good for Ball into that composition because he's not really the main damage dealer either. The Pile Drive makes him live longer because he does actually get the adaptive shields. So my predictions, without playing any of the experimental currently, with the current patch that we have now, this is before the update. I'm probably not going to make another video for the updated changes. If you're playing in the Creator Cup, or the big thing is Ball, Diva, Tracer, Sombra, Tracer, Ashe, Echo, even if you want to add Echo in there, and also Zenbrig or maybe on a break. That's really from what I got from the reactions to these changes. That is. I mean, it's the same. It's a lot of the same. The thing is with these content creators is that they don't play the Zenbrig in scrims. And, like, ML7 made very good changes. Don't get me wrong. The added bonus to Zenyatta, it just wasn't needed. It just wasn't needed. I mean, especially when you just nerfed BAP. Like, BAP, like, I understand BAP is strong, but, like, Brig is the problem, guys. I mean, but, you know... You have to make, as a content creator that's doing these changes, you have to make changes that are good for the game, but you also have to make changes that make your player base, that make your people happy. You know, holy shit, someone just crashed. Oh god, someone did just crash your car. That's terrible. Wow. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. If you have questions, I mean, have fun if you're playing in the Creator Cup. I'm not going to be playing in the Creator Cup because I'm either going to be playing in Collegiate or I'm going to be at home with my family and my girlfriend. But if you are playing in this, I mean, best of luck to you. I hope you've been playing Zenbrig since August, since it's been meta that long. And if it's not that, I mean, I guess you can take this and you can clip champ it, or clip chimp, whatever it's called, out of context, put it on Twitter, be like, wow, Paz is a dumbass. Yeah, I mean... Sure, I mean, I'm pretty stupid sometimes, but if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. What do you guys think about the changes? I mean, I think they're pretty good. But yeah, I don't really got anything else for you guys. Please do like, subscribe if you've made it this far, because obviously you like the content. Comment what you think, and but until next time, I've got to peace out and Paz out. I'll see you in the next one.